Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Biz Busties. I'm recording live from Mexico. Kayla's recording live from her new Feng Shui office.
I read a book. This is what I'm grateful for. I'll just jump right into it. In our mastermind that we're in, someone dropped a podcast. Do you know who dropped it?
Brennan did.
Love Brennan. He drops this podcast. I listened to it. The lady is so magnetic. Her name's Marie Diamond, that I feel absolutely sucked into her vortex. It is not normal. I'm obsessed with her. I'm watching her videos. I've got her app. So I have made my office my vision board. But to do that, this required talking to Scott, getting him on board. And like, now I'm a Feng Shui master, so get with the program. He's like, oh my God, okay, what is it? I'm like, we have to sell this bed. We have to get a pull-out couch. I have to arrange my desk because I'm a number 9 facing east. So I need to move my actual desk and the carpet that's in here. And the bed is just not going to fit if I'm facing my success direction. He's okay. Okay. So same day, I bought the pull-out couch from Costco and I bought a deep freeze for protein. What else? And new sheets. I was like, my home is who I am and how I live. And this is going to cost me 3 grand. And that's how excited I am about feng shuiing my whole house.
And I'm
Okay.
such a supporter and believer of this because I believe that money's always in circulation. There's enough to go around.
Yes.
As business owners, we can always create and earn more. Set your home environment up to make more money, to be more
Hmm.
successful, to be in your
Hmm.
business more. If you're like working at your business and you're like, I hate this, the energy sucks, like you feel like you're suffocating, you feel like you can't be productive, then go spend the money to make your environment productive so that you can be more productive and successful in your business and make more money.
Yes. The other thing is, I was talking to my mom about this feng shui situation because she's involved. Because when she comes to stay, she's coming, she booked her flights to come for 13 days and she's going to have to sleep on the pull-out couch now. So I was talking to her about the pull-out couch at her house and what she likes about it and what kind of mattress we need to get for said pull-out couch. She told me that the color in this room is bad feng shui. I'm like, how do you know? She's because I hate it. I'm like, okay. I guess it might be bad feng shui for you, but are you going to come and paint it for me or what? So anyway, this kicked me off to make me decide that I just need to paint the whole thing white. It's gray, but it looks very green in the camera.
Yeah, it does.
So, well, it's nice in real life. I don't know. I like it in real life, but on the camera it looks bad, and I'm mostly on camera all day. So I'm doing White Dove from Benjamin Moore, or it could be Dove White, I don't know. But that color will be painted in here when the couch arrives. Stay tuned for the whole situation. Okay, what are you grateful for?
Obs, I'm grateful to be in the
Obs.
sunshine. The heat, it's 28,
Mhm.
29, 30 degrees Celsius. My heart is so happy. It's blue skies. There hasn't been a cloud to be found. I've officially diagnosed myself allergic to winter. And so, with this clarity of how vibrant I feel with literally just like the very first moment arriving at the airport in Mexico, I was like, this is it. This is how I'm supposed to feel. I'm supposed to feel this way. My whole body was like recalibrating. So I'm so grateful that November me, who went to a fundraiser gala, shout out to Dr. Sarah, who will listen to this. We were at this gala together and she's, I see you bidding on that trip. And I was like, I'm going to get that trip. And I bid on many trips, and luckily I did not get outbid on this one. And originally I was trying to sell it. I was trying to sell this trip. I was like, oh, do I need to go back to Cabo specifically for a second year in a row? I want to see some other parts of Mexico. Now that I'm here, at this glorious 5-star Hilton hotel on the beach with the blue skies and the warm air. I'm so grateful that I took the plunge and made it happen and that I'm here. And then in addition to that, I'm also grateful that now we have so many new best friends who live in warm places.
Mm,
Come visit me,
we
stay
do.
with me. Let's go out here. And so I'm just like, yes, my world is forming around me of making it very possible to live somewhere warm for at least a month in the winter. I want to be a snowbird. My mom was like,
A
"Do you
month, yeah.
she's like, do you want to move to Mexico like full time?" And I was like, "No, I want to live on
Mhm.
Vancouver Island. Primarily May to October would be best, April to October, November. But I want to be a snowbird. I want to be like all the retirees that make their way to Florida and Mexico and Arizona, Palm Springs. I'm just going to start that now."
Okay, I support you. I will come and visit for 1 week,
Yes.
and then my heart beats too fast when I'm in the heat, so I have to leave. I turn red like a cherry tomato and I can't breathe. So I support you from afar and also would like to come and visit. When we went to Arizona last summer, I did enjoy that. It's pretty cold where we live, even in the summer, because we live right on the ocean. Nicole and I live in the same place. And the Pacific Ocean breeze is pretty cold in the summer.
And for everybody who's listening, when Kayla says she liked Arizona last August, it was 45 degrees Celsius. So for you to be like, I liked that, it's like that's
I
not
liked it.
extreme heat in the desert.
Yeah, it felt comforting. I like how it's not humid.
Mm.
The humidity, when everything gets wet, it's so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's how we feel about heat. That's how we feel about feng shui. Next up, building your $1 million brand.
Yep. Building your $1 million brand. Kayla and I gave a brief talk on this in the fall at an event we hosted, an IRL event. And for those of you who are coming to She Leads, you'll hear or have seen that we've got a few different panelists and talks going on. So we have Robin and Monica doing our keynote, and you're going to hear all about that. We have our Women in Business panel speaking. We have our Health is Wealth panel. And then Kayla and myself are delivering building your $1 million brand. And there's so many things that we can say about this, but the thing we want to touch on that we think is the most important is building a $1 million brand really translates to building trust. And at a
Yeah.
time when trust is at an ultimate low for people, that's just statistically proven all across the board, across North America, buyer trust is at an all-time low. How you can build up trust and why it's important to build trust.
Yeah, this is one of our favorite things to do because we believe in organic growth of your business. We're not against ads, but we do believe in organic growth. We believe in delivering what we say we're going to deliver and always upholding our end of the deal. We've been like that since day one. We show up for our people. And so we understand how to build the trust. We want to show everyone how to do that in your own business and what to do. And we want to point out when things might be getting shaky, why that's happening, and how you can either stop it and build it back up, or if it's feeling shaky for you, how you can exit and listen to your intuition.
Yeah. Okay, we're speaking to primarily business owners on this podcast, and we want everybody to take a moment and just think about when was the last time that you had to make a decision, bring someone or something into your business that would support your growth. And this might look like adding in new automation. So maybe you're upgrading in your Kajabi subscription from what you pay now to be able to deliver more courses. This might look like a person, like a social media manager or an accountant or a virtual assistant, somewhere where you've had to make a decision. And ultimately, your decision probably came down to if you trust working with that person or you trust working with that system, and whether or not you decide to move forward with implementing that person or that system into your business comes down to, do you trust that this is going to be supportive of your growth? And this is going to be really important for everybody listening. And you're thinking about marketing, you're thinking about how you're showing up on social media. What are you saying that is allowing the people who are watching along, listening to your podcast, listening to your reels, to get a sense of understanding that they can trust you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to consistency and how you are. So I know we've talked about this 1,000 times. So is everyone in the whole world on business. And there are some controversial opinions, but this one I don't think is that controversial. Pick a niche and talk to that person. It builds trust when you are consistent and you don't change your messaging.
Mhm.
So we want to talk to women who have a one-on-one business and they're either doing it off the side of their desk or that's their full-time thing. They're burned out, they're ready for more, they want to learn how to scale, they have a digital product or they have a physical clinic or something like that that they can deliver things online to a multitude of people at one time and make more money. If we all of a sudden start talking about people who own a button factory, people would be like, excuse me, what is going on over there at My Aligned Purpose? That doesn't make sense for our typical client journey, where they find us, how they relate to us being super clear about how we can help, and being consistent about how we show up. So I think it all comes down to who are you serving? Who are you talking to? Who can you actually help? And not promising something that you don't know how to do, not promising that you can help someone in a way that you can't. Just stick to what you are good at and how you help people and consistently do that all the time. Trust will go up and up and up. And you have to, I guess the other thing is you have to be in business for the right reasons to help people. People can see right through someone who's inauthentic, who is out there saying, I made $8 million this week. If they didn't, if you did, that's amazing. But I made $8 million this week on coaching, and I'm going to make $8 million next week on selling this same offer. It's like people want to know, like that kind of, that's about the person who's selling. And for me, that creates a shaky, no love, trust factor because I'm thinking, like, what does this have to do with how you're solving my problem as the buyer? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're probably not even thinking that because you don't hear yourself in their message. So like they're over there talking
Mm,
about themselves and you don't you're not paying attention at all because we're so wired to hear what it is we're looking for. It's that whole example
yeah.
of you're standing at a concert and the band is performing, people are shouting and yelling and there's so much chatter, there's so much noise, but somebody says Nicole in a crowd of 70,000 people and they're somewhat nearby that I can hear them, my ears are going to perk up. My head's going to turn. I'm going to be like, are they talking to me? Because we're here to look for the things that we feed our reticular activating system. But when the coach
Mhm.
is over there saying all of that about themselves, you don't even hear yourself in that. And that's where they miss the messaging. That's where they miss the marketing. And then, of course, that's where they lose the trust. Let's talk about a real life example for us with our accounting. We've lost trust in a previous accountant that we were working with, and we gained an enormous amount of trust with a new accountant that we started to work with. Do you want to give a brief little backstory on what the key indicators that started to make your instincts go "Dee," like, oh, this is a no? And then also the key little indicators that were like, yes, for our new accountant.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't know how good you could have it. So you stick to the status quo and you're like, okay, whatever. I guess this is annoying, but here we are. And some backstory is that having this business since 2020 together, and we've had other businesses before separately, and then the rapid growth that we've been through, and then understanding how to sell into the US, how to collect USD, how to still have our Canadian based business, but be global because we sell into Europe, Australia, New Zealand, US, all over the place. As our business has been rapidly growing, thankfully, love it, we've needed some support to figure out what taxes do we owe? How do we pay? Like, what taxes are we collecting? How do we remit these things? And in the beginning, our accountant was okay. And we were learning together, but we didn't know exactly what to ask for. So then, as I take full responsibility for our finances in our business and my life, and I'm just a full responsibility type of person, I am tracking what we have to pay for government sales tax. I'm tracking what we are going to owe for corporate tax and for income tax, all that kind of thing. And last year in 2024, when I got our initial return thing put together by our accountant at year end, he said that we were going to get a refund for GST, which is government sales tax in Canada, if you're not from Canada. And I'm like, there's no way. I know we should be on installments. That's not happening. I don't exactly know how to set that up. I'm asking questions about, do we need holding companies? How do we set those up? What does that look like? And it's always answered in a delayed way or sure, go ahead and do it one liner. And so my trust is gradually decreasing, but I'm going with it because of this like security blanket of having an expert to talk to. And Nicole's reflecting back to me that this is not world class. And I'm like, yes, this is
Like,
not the
we're
standard.
doing his job.
Yeah. So the GST thing happens, and I'm like, okay, this is absolutely wrong. And then the Canada Revenue Agency says, this is wrong. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. And can you fix it? And then the CRA asked us for a few receipts for a couple of items on our 2022 overview. And he said, good luck. I wasn't your accountant at that time. I can't help you. One liner. So I'm telling Nicole, obviously, I'm relaying all these things. She's, no, we have to draw the line. This is not how we operate. So finally, we did, and it's actually not a big deal to switch professionals like a lawyer or an accountant. You can have somebody else for the next year. It was causing so many problems. We needed to make a change. So we interviewed a few accountants, and one woman who we're working with now was excellent. We were both on the call. She asked us questions about our business. She learned what we need support with. She can help. She does have room to help us grow. I said, these are our questions. And as we have big goals and we continue to grow, we're going to need support in this area. I got you. We have this new accountant. She is such a good listener. She has the systems in place. She can help us. She's quite responsive. She did my personal taxes. We didn't tell her it was a test, but I thought, okay, we'll move forward with she can do my personal tax and we'll see how smooth that is. And she asked me all the right questions. She got that done really well. She submitted it to the CRA. It was actually so smooth. I feel confident moving forward with her. And my trust has been built up with her because she's asking the questions. She has the systems in place, and she's actually going to help us be able to grow our business, which is what we want. We said we want support and growth. She said, okay, these are the ways I support you to grow. She listened, she replied with what we want, and she actually can help us. So if you're listening to that and thinking like, okay, how can I apply this to my business? When you're having a conversation with someone and you hear that they have a problem you can solve, you can just repeat that problem back to them and how you solve it when they work with you. It actually works so well every time in a sales conversation. But don't do that if you can't actually solve that problem. Only do that if this is your area of expertise.
So that's an example of feeling like you're losing trust, an example of finding trust.
Mhm.
And the whole purpose of this episode is to showcase how building $1 million brand is really building trust with people. And the way that we have really built up trust with our audience over the years is by being in integrity, which is doing what you say you're going to do, delivering on what we say we're going to deliver, and never over promising and under delivering. If you want to build trust with people, start a connection with them, start conversation with them, give to them, don't always ask for something. And then when you are delivering something that you sell, whether you're selling a product or a service or maybe both, when you deliver on what it is that is for sale, deliver at the highest quality so that people
Mhm.
love what they've received so much that this ties back into the organic piece. Then they refer you, they tell their friends. What
Mhm.
higher level of trust is there when you go and tell your friend that you liked something so much that they should check it out too? You wouldn't steer your friend astray. You wouldn't steer somebody that you love astray and be like, I didn't really trust this face mask that I bought. I'm unsure if it is going to damage your skin or not, but I do recommend. That's just not how we operate. Being mindful, thinking about the way you would recommend, the way you would want your business recommended or referred to people is in the same way that you want somebody to recommend and refer something to you, based off of they trust it, they like it,
Mhm.
no love, trust. It's as old as it gets when it comes to business, and it's time.
Mhm.
It really is how you're going to build $1 million brand. Building, know, love, trust.
Yeah. As I'm listening to you, I think the other piece of this is trusting yourself if something is off. Recently, we had to make a decision where I can't exactly pinpoint why I don't like what's happening with this one service that we were going to previously pay for. And my intuition is saying, ooh, I do not trust that what I think is going to happen, despite all the communication, is actually what is going to play out. What would be valuable for us is actually going to be what we're going to get. And I could blame it on a couple of things, communication being one of them, clear, quick delivery on what we asked for being another one, some excuses made. Okay, I could. But actually, if I tap into how it makes me feel, does it make me feel like, yes, this is going to be the best ever? Yes, this is exactly what we need? Or does that interaction, that relationship make me feel a little shaky, a little, maybe this isn't going to be worth it? Then I can be clear and say, this is how I'm feeling about it. And another way to actually put that through a test is say, if you're paying for something and you think the money piece might be jading your opinion on it, would you work with that person or would you buy that thing or whatever if it were free? If it were free and you could have total access to it, would you say yes, or is it just the money that's holding you back? Because we've talked lots of times on here about how money holding us back is not a thing that Kaila and Nicole can identify with. We get the fear, we do it anyway. We do not want money to be something that is going to prohibit us from getting to our dream state, our dream business, our dream lifestyle, what we want. We're not letting money stand in the way. So if I take money out of the equation, I can ask myself, do I actually not trust this service, this whatever it is? Or is it just that I'm scared to pay for it?
Mhm.
Or is it just something that feels a little bit too expensive in the moment? And then can I get beyond that?
Yeah, and there's many times and examples of people who have gotten something for free or off an exchange, and it's been terrible service or terrible
Mhm.
delivery, and it has nothing to do with the money. Again,
Yeah.
it has to do with the know, love, trust. And is this person being in integrity and saying, doing what they say they're going to do, and so on and so forth? Cheap and free is not always best. Again, I'm not trying to buy my
Yeah.
groceries from the dollar store because it's cheaper than Whole Foods. That's not what I'm looking for. Whole Foods has makes me feel a certain way. And it allows me, they've built their no love trust with me. They've never steered me strong or never steered me in the wrong direction. And so, again, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, like, oh, factoring in upgrading to Kajabi or bringing on the VA or the social media
Mhm.
manager, and the number one thing that's holding you back is money, okay, put that aside. Do you really want this? Because is this going to help
Mhm.
your business grow? Figure out the money. You will figure it out. But if you're like, even at free or low cost, no, I don't see how this is going to help, then don't do it. So at the end of the day, buyer's trust is low. We know that. We know that from just staying ahead of the curve and cutting edge and being in our own mastermind and just knowing that there is something happening externally that is making trust low. We can call it the economy, but we believe we create our own economy. But there's lots of things happening that people might tap into with their belief of why trust is low. And we want to remind you that it doesn't have to be for you. Our clients are telling us that they trust us more than ever based off of all the shady stuff that they see online and what coaches are offering and coaches promising they can help you make a certain amount of money and they don't even do that themselves. There's a lot of shady stuff out there, and our clients have been sharing with us how much they trust us. You can get that feedback from your audience as well of what are you doing that supports them to trust you, that you're building that no love trust with them. There's lots of things for sale. So, yeah, use discernment, use buyer discretion, whatever it is that you need to do. But when it comes to you being the business owner, you don't have to worry that, oh, people aren't going to buy from me because nobody's buying right now. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that people are buying from people they trust. So the question you need to ask yourself is, what can I do to get out there in front of more people and build more trust? And our answer to that is get into She Leads in front of at least 100 people. We've sold 100 tickets. We've got a few more that are for sale. So imagine getting to be in front of all of these people in real life, allowing them to experience your energy, shaking hands, doing all the fun activities we've got planned, going out to lunch with your new friends, being inspired by the speakers, being in the energy. You're going to
Getting the goodie bag.
getting the goodie bag. Yeah, like your opportunity to expand your visibility in front of people and to have people referring you and to have people telling their friends about you and why people should work with you is going to be expansive. It's going to be so big inside of that room where you could not come and all those people don't know about your business.
Or I suppose. Okay, come and join us. She Leads 2025 at the Oak Bay Beach Hotel. April 25th is Friday. We're gathering at 6 p.m. for a market, a DJ dance party, snacks. It's going to be off the hook. We're calling it Bubbles and Besties. Somebody asked me if there's going to be non-alcoholic bubbles because she doesn't drink. I said, sister, who is drinking these days? Yes, we're going to have non-alcoholic everything. We'll have some options for alcohol as well. If you want, you're welcome to make that choice. And then Saturday, starting at 9 a.m., The coffee will be flowing, the good vibes. We have 10 speakers. Our keynotes are Robin and Monica from Mint Cleaning. If you don't know who they are, go look them up on Instagram right now. You'll fall in love. You need to be there. We're going to be hosting it. It's going to be absolutely the best day of your life. So you need to come on Saturday. So you need to be there. She Leads happening April 25th and 26th at the Oak Bay Beach Hotel here in Victoria, British Columbia. Make it happen, folks.
Okay, we'll see you there. Link is in the show notes.